And then there's Donald Trump. Don't boo, vote. Yeah, the Donald is not really a plans guy. He's not really a facts guy either. He calls himself a business guy, which is true, but I have to say I know plenty of businessmen and women who've achieved remarkable success without leaving a trail of lawsuits and unpaid workers and people feeling like they got cheated. Does anyone really believe that a guy who spent his 70 years on this earth showing no regard for working people is suddenly going to be...
Hit man with a 15-punch combination. Buddy.
And then there's Donald Trump. Don't boo, vote. Yeah, the Donald is not really a plans guy. He's not really a facts guy either. He calls himself a business guy, which is true, but I have to say I know plenty of businessmen and women who've achieved remarkable success without leaving a trail of lawsuits and unpaid workers and people feeling like they got cheated. Does anyone really believe that a guy who spent his 70 years on this earth showing no regard for working people is suddenly going to be your champion, your voice? Hey, if so, you should vote for him. But if you're someone who's truly concerned about paying your bills, if you're really concerned about pocketbook issues and seeing the economy grow and creating more opportunity for everybody, then the choice isn't even close. If you want someone with a lifelong track record of fighting for higher wages and better benefits and a fairer tax code and a bigger voice for workers and stronger regulations on Wall Street, then you should vote for Hillary Clinton.
Bless up, one and all. Welcome to the Troy Graham Experience. That was a little cut from obviously an old video done by President Obama. Let me repeat that. President Obama, when Trump was going up against Hillary Clinton back in the day, and he said, "Don't boo, vote." And he broke down a couple of things as to why. The man has no history of helping the middle class, poor Americans, or anything. They say he's a businessman, but he doesn't pay his workers, and he tries to rip off his investors and all that. So, and this is the man you believe, a born billionaire, man who was born with a platinum spoon in his mouth, is going to come in and he's going to lower prices and focus solely on the middle class and poor families of America. What's up, Frankie Blanco? This is the man you believe who's going to come in and going to focus on helping the veterans. This is the man you believe who's going to come in and, according to him, help the economy. The man who's filed bankruptcy more times than I can count. This man, and where in his history has he ever done that? So today I have a little overview of, before I get into that, let me say this. I have these conversations when I go on these conservative sites, and I try not to go do the back and forth of these MAGA people, but they basically have a Jim Jones type loyalty to him. And I say to them, please hurry up and drink the tea, because the world will be a better place after you drink the tea. Just drink the damn tea and make the world a better place, right? But when I'm being civil with them after they've done call me nigger and say that I'm on a plantation and et cetera, et cetera. I can't think for myself. Donald Trump has done more for black people than any president ever. And when I asked them what has he done, then the first response from every one of them, 1 out of 100, is go Google it. Really? You don't know what you don't know what he's done? Okay. So, but my thing is, I'm trying to explain to these folks, you are either a middle class individual, a blue collar individual, or a poor person. What is this billionaire going to do for you when he comes out and brags about he's never worked a day in his life? He's never gotten his hands dirty a day in his life. He does not pay his taxes. He doesn't even know how to pump gas. He damn sure don't know how to make a budget, a grocery budget, or anything like that. He don't play. He doesn't pay his own employees. They a lot of times these employees they don't get paid. You talk about these so-called people coming into the country, by any means necessary. He's hiring a lot of those people, his people. His wife is an immigrant. So what are you complaining about? I had a guy on there who was a MAGA fan, and he was saying something about Biden is a. He was saying something that people on welfare and SNAP, they're they're just spoiled and they feel entitled. And I said, well, you're voting for the man that's the poster child of entitlement. What has he ever done? What has he ever done? The hardest thing he said he had to do was when his father kicked him out the house, maybe at 40, and gave him a couple of million and said, well, go live your life. But anyway, today I have a little summary of some of the things that are in Project 2025. Of course, I can't do all of them because it's 1,000 pages. So I'm not going to sit here and read you 1,000 pages. But this gives you a quick overview. It's the Presidential Transition Project, Project 2025. If you don't know about it, please go and check this out. So I'm going to start from the top. It says, end no-fault divorce, complete ban on abortions without exceptions, ban contraceptives, additional tax breaks for corporations and the 1%, higher taxes for the working class, elimination of unions and worker protections. And those of you who are with MAGA, who are in unions and who are 9-to-5ers, listen to this again. Elimination of unions and worker protections. Raise the retirement age. Repeat that. Raise the retirement age. Cut Social Security. You want to cut Social Security because he calls it an entitlement. Mr. Entitlement sees that as an entitlement. Cut Medicare. See, those of you who have pre-existing, illness, such as, let's say me, a heart problem, and you need a heart transplant, Medicare covers your heart transplant and covers major operations that you would need. Now, imagine if he gets into office, first day, he says, well, I'm now going to place into law Project 2025. Medicare is gone. What are you going to do to get that heart transplant, that kidney transplant? What? There's nothing there now that'll help you. And the Affordable Care Act. We all know what that is. They call it Obamacare, but it's called the Affordable Care Act. Millions of Americans have that, and that's how they're able to afford insurance and to take care of themselves. Raise prescription drug prices. Why in the hell would you raise prescription drugs? Listen to me. Those prescription drugs cost the companies pennies to make because they sell millions of them. But when they come on the market, let's say I was watching 2020 one time, and this greedy bastard who had created some supposedly miracle pill, he was charging people like $500 for like one month supply. You know how much it cost them per pill? 50 cents. 50 freaking cents. So let me repeat that. Raise prescription and drug prices. Trump is going to raise prescription drug prices. Eliminate the Department of Education. See, when you're ignorant and you're hateful, you want to take away anything that might help others grow, because in your mind, your word is law. So why you need others to grow? If you don't, if yourself don't feel you need to grow, you just need to align yourself with people smarter than yourself. Eliminate the Department of Education. Use public tax money for private religious schools. Did you hear that? That is called indoctrination. Again, use public taxpayer money for private religious schools, meaning that your child will enter the school one way, but by the end of that term, now I don't know how many years it was, it could be, let's say if they start at pre-K and they go all the way to junior high school, by the time they finish going through the school, they're going to be, their mind is going to be so screwed up from just be, they're going to tell them about their God, and they're gonna grab those young souls real young, and they're gonna corrupt them, and they're gonna poison them. And now, I mean, if you've been watching lately, they've been trying to say that they want to put the Ten Commandments into every school, right? They want to put prayer back in the school. Every child has to pray to God, no matter what his or her beliefs is. Now, the God that I know gave us all free will. And we live in a country that is what? Is freedom is freedom of religion. Nobody forces you to believe this way or that way. Like other countries, you could get killed just for having a Bible. But in America, you have the right to believe what you want to believe. What they've done or what they're going to do when they teach Christian beliefs in all public schools, no matter what your beliefs are, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, they're going to erase all that and take away your rights to practice any other religion. Okay? End free and discounted school lunch programs. The Black Panthers started that because of so many starving kids in the neighborhood. So now, why would you want to end something that's helping people? End free and discounted school lunch programs. Why in the hell would you want to come into office and cut something so positive? Oh, that's right, because you've never struggled before, you bastard. You've never gone to bed hungry, you bastard. Never once in your life. End civil rights. Pause right there. End civil rights. Let that sink in for a second. Repeat it. End civil rights! Exclamation points. Let that sink in. Think of all what people had to go through to get civil rights. They had to go through slavery. They had to go through Jim Crow. They got water hoses turned on them, dogs turned on them, churches bombed, and little children were getting killed. You know what I'm saying? You walking home from work as a black man, and the police see you doing Jim Crow. They say, okay, there was a murder off the street, and you fit the description. You in jail for life. That was your whole trial, right then and there. It don't matter how old you are. You could be a child, or you could be a grown man. You fit the description. You fit the description. So let me read this again. End civil rights and DEI protection in government. Whew. Ban African American and gender studies in all levels of school. Now, if you've been paying attention, this Satan in Florida, yes, I called him this Satan. This Satan in Florida is already pushing to do that. That other worthless bastard who's also riding with Trump, Ron DeSantis, Ron DeSatan, right? He wants to ban African American and gender studies in all levels of education. But he's just lobbying for it to be done in the whole state of Florida. Trump gets into office, it's going to be done in the entire country, meaning that there will be no more teaching about Frederick Douglass, no more teaching, if you had it, about Malcolm X, no more teaching about the harshness of slavery. They're gonna pretty it up and make it so that slavery, oh well, there was slavery, but blacks learned to trade while in slavery. Yeah, yeah. And then the gender studies, meaning that they don't have any sympathy or any care for anyone that's not heterosexual, even though most of these dudes are boy lovers. Okay, don't get fooled by them. These Trump and his cronies are into underage girls, boys, and incest, and we saw that side of him when he said he would bang his daughter because she's a sweet piece of ass. Go watch The View. What do you have in common with your daughter, Donald? Sex. Really? Is she a boy? Is that what you're trying to say? That your daughter's a boy? No, that he said it 1,000 times, and he coded it up though. If she wasn't my daughter, I would date her. Translation: if she wasn't my daughter, I would bang her. Meaning that he has already. He has. His hands go in inappropriate places when he touches her. So, but they want to ban African American and gender studies in all levels of education of African American and gender studies in all levels of education. See, you see the hypocrisy. These boy lovers, they're boy lovers. They start with underage girls, and then in the dark they get these underage boys. That's why a lot of these rich families are so screwed up, because they screwing with each other to so-called cute. They sleeping with each other to so-called keep the blood pure. Did you know that? That's what the Romans did. That's called keeping the blood pure. And this is what this bastard wants to do. All right? Ban books and ban books about slavery. And you can't teach anything about slavery. Good Lord have mercy. So basically, slavery will just be wiped out of history. Period. Ban any books about slavery. You know, you can't have a curriculum that teaches slavery. Banned it. No books on slavery. Banned it. So basically, that's like that's like if you tell the Jew, well, we're just going to ban all the books on the Holocaust, and we're going to give our story on it about how nice the Nazis were to you, and if you would have just complied, we wouldn't have to put you in ovens. We wouldn't have to slaughter you the way we did, because you just didn't comply. You understand what I'm saying? And no one is supposed to teach that. Do you realize that every time America goes into another country and takes it over, the first thing that they do is they burn, they salt the earth. That's the first thing, and they burn their history books. Why do you think they do those things in that order? Why? Because when you salt the earth, what you do is you kill the spirits. You killed any future spirits that might come up and oppose you, right? And then you start filtering your poisonous contaminated blood throughout the country, and you change the country. You say you're going in there because they terrorists. No, you're going in there to take over, because there's a good launching spot for you to. It's a good place for you to drill oil. It's a good launching spot in case there's an attack from this one or that one. That's why you were going into these people's country. So hey, back to where we were, where it says ban books and curriculum about slavery. Yeah, same thing. You're just gonna lie. You're just gonna wash slavery away like it didn't happen. You're just gonna wash it away because it never happened, right? Oh, slavery never happened. Mm-hmm. Ending climate protection. Good Lord have mercy. So basically, they don't believe in global warming. They don't they don't care. They don't believe that the ozone is being destroyed. They don't care. They don't care. Why should they? Why should they? Okay? Increase their okay. You see the first one where it says end climate, and of course you can't see it, but it says end climate protections, and then the next one right under it is increase Arctic drilling. Because once the law is washed away that you cannot drill in the Arctic, because the reason why you can't drill in the Arctic is because of they have a lot of protective animals and so forth out there. You start drilling over there, you're gonna see a lot of dead fish and everything else. Okay, just like okay, this has happened before when they were over there. The tankers, something happened on an oil tanker, dumped a whole bunch of oil in the sea, killed a lot of the life, killed a lot of the fish. Didn't just affect the fish, but the bears too. You understand? And so when you do that, when you come into their habitat and you mess it up, where do you think they go next? Residential areas, genius. That's why you see more bears and so forth coming to your house now, because you have destroyed their habitat. So now they have no place to go and feed but in your habitat, human. And that's only part of it because I'm not wise on all of this. Deregulate big business and there you go. Deregulate big business and the oil industry, meaning that you could drill baby anywhere you want in this country. It doesn't matter. It don't matter who it affects, what it might do to the climate, to the ozone, whatever. Drill baby, drill. Go ahead. We don't need them damn Saudis. We're just gonna keep drilling until we mess up the earth. We don't care. Okay? Promote, promote and you state me, okay. Promote and expedite capital punishment. Whew, that's the death penalty for y'all who don't know. You know, basically, you won't have a chance for like a retrial or anything, because if you're found guilty, even though you're not guilty, promote and expedite corporal punishment. Let's say that they grab me up because they claim I fit the description and I did this, that, and the third, right? They say, well, you raped this white woman, you did this, that, and the third, and you beat her. All of a sudden now, here it is Monday, and I'm scared. I'm sentenced to get the death penalty, right? So 1 week or 2 weeks from Monday, guess what? I'm in that chair or I'm taking that needle because now they can. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Promote American. Okay, bad average circulation. Promote and expedite capital punishment. End marriage equality. What? End marriage. I'm guessing that has a lot to do with same-sex marriages. That you won't be you're going to make those illegal. End marriage equality. Because what else could that mean? End marriage equality, unless you're saying you're going to give all the power to the man in the marriage. And even as a man, I can honestly tell you that's not fair. You can't do that because you're not. Oh my God, have mercy. All right. Condemn single mothers. Just pause. 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 Condemn single mothers while promoting only traditional families. Stop right there. This just stop. We're gonna sit here and linger here for a little bit. I'm gonna read it again real slow. Condemn single mothers while promoting only traditional families. Amazingly, let's go back up to the top here where these fools say, okay, where is it? Where they talk about Christianity. Teach Christian teach Christian beliefs in public schools. Now let's come down here. Condemn single mothers while promoting only traditional families. Okay. Now, if you're a real Christian, you would know that Mary was a single mother. She was never married to Jesus's father. You see that? So, what exactly is this traditional family you're talking about? Because if you take away the single mother, that who is the traditional family, then Jesus is never born. Remember, he's his birth was called the Immaculate Inception, or something, if I'm pronouncing that right. Right? She might have been married at the time, but that man did not give birth to Jesus. That's not Jesus' father. God is. So now they're saying condemn single mothers while promoting only traditional families. So, what exactly is a traditional family since the mother of Jesus Christ himself was a single mother by 100% definition? Can anybody tell me? Of course you can. These bastards are just, ooh. Defunct the FBI and Homeland Security. So, while you pushing about how you respect the boys in blue, you want to come over here and defunct the FBI and Homeland Security because they could investigate you and they could investigate you for your wrongs, huh? So you want to make sure that you defunct them. Okay, okay. Use the military to break up domestic protests. Very simply put, if you, if just like, okay, all these police shootings that people were protesting peacefully. Let me read this again. Use the military to break up domestic protests. That's a nice way of saying that he'll give, he'll authorize the military to come in and shoot people. It's just a nice way of saying it. condemn single mothers and promoting only traditional families is a very nice way of saying that we're going to send not just the National Guard and we're going to send the Marines in, Army. We might even drop bombs on you with the Air Force to get your asses home. We don't care how many of you die because you're not us. Okay? Mass deportation of immigrants and incarceration in camps. Oh, very simply put, that they're going to open up incarceration camps. How much more simple do you need? Mass deportation of immigrants and incarceration in camps. And birthright citizenships, meaning that if your child is born here, but you are so-called illegal, that does not make him or her a citizen anymore. They're going to kick both of your asses out. Okay? Go with your mother. You wasn't born here. All right? I had to pause for a second on that one. I'm sorry, y'all. I just paused for a second on that one. Where was I? Use military to break up domestic protests. Mass deportation of immigrants and incarceration in camps. And birthright citizenship. Ban Muslims from entering the country, meaning that, again, this country, God gave us free will. Free will. Free will. I'm going to repeat that. The Almighty God gave us free will. Ban Muslims from entering the country, right? Right. So, but because you're a Muslim, you will no longer be able to come into America. If you're a terrorist, fine, we'll let you in. Come on, buddy. We like terrorists over here, buddy. We're gonna what these other cats are talking about, but we like terrorists over here. Right? Right. Okay. That being said, but we're gonna ban all Muslims because it was Muslims that shot up the church in South Carolina. It was Muslims that shot up the movie theater, in a rural Colorado, right? Timothy McVeigh, was he a Muslim? Huh? Charles Manson, was he a Muslim? Huh? Jeffrey Dahmer, was he a Muslim? Most of the school shootings, were they done by Muslims? Huh? Columbine, was that a Muslim? Huh? No. See, what you can do is you being a bigot. You saying that one belief is killing everybody, but listen, we could go through. It wasn't any Muslims that attacked the Capitol, baby. They were maggots. Maggots, as I like to call them, tramp maggots. That's who attacked them. That's who killed that policeman. The tramp maggots. Why aren't you banning them? Oh, that's right, because they're good people. You know, Donald Trump is supported by David Duke, who's a grand wizard of the Klan. Yeah, but he wants to ban all Muslims. I know Christians and I know Muslims. It it depends on the person. It doesn't depend on the belief. So you can flush that shit. Eliminate federal agencies like the FDA, that has to do with food, the EPA, the NOAA, and more. So they just want control over every blessed thing, over every blessed damn thing. Why would you eliminate the federal agencies like the FDA? Who's going to regulate our food then? Oh, that's right, the maggot people and their head bastard. EPA, NOAA, and more. Hell, if that man gets reelected, I can't do any more shows like this because my head will end up on a spike somewhere. Or they'll clone me, kill me, and then send my clone home. Right? Shoo! Continue to pack the Supreme Court and lower courts with right-wing judges, meaning that he's going to appoint a bunch of judges that suit his agenda, and he has something on them. Clarence Thomas, aka Sambo, King Sambo. He takes bribes, flat out bribes, and he basically says, "Well, I can't, I can't live the life I want to live with this little bit of money I'm making $250,000 as a Supreme Court judge." Yeah, because he's suffering so much. Oh my God! That's only the top of it. That's only the gist of it. Few people. That's only a few things. I'm gonna go back over a few things because they scare the hell out of me. Well, all of these things scare the hell out of me, and this is why you should really wake up. Right here, where it says cut Medicare. What about the people who need kidney transplant, heart transplants, and everything else? What about those people? What about the person who's about to get their new eyes? They've been blind their whole life, but they're about to get their new eyes. Brain transplant. Who? What about that? I can't go on with this. That's just one of the things, right? And this one here with the schools, ban abortions and without exceptions. Let me explain something to you. If a woman's body is her choice, unless you're married or in a real serious relationship for years, but if she gets raped or violated or anything and she doesn't want to keep the baby, why should the law have anything to do with telling her what she should do with her own body? What? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Ooh, where was I? Sometimes I got to take a pause. Eliminate the Department of Education and indoctrinate kids with their beliefs and their standard of education. Teach Christian religious beliefs in the public schools. Indoctrination again. Ban African American and gender studies in all levels of education. Just stop where he says banned African American. Don't look at nothing else. Ban African Americans. That right there should send chills down your spine. Increase Arctic drilling. It was something else. Teach Christian teach Christian beliefs in public school. No. The reason why they don't do that in public schools is because mm, this thing keeps blanking out on me. Ban Muslims from entering the country. Eliminate federal agencies like the FDA, the EPA, and NOAA, and more. Continue to pack the Supreme Court and lower courts with right wing judges. Imagine if you could hire your family, only those that agree with you, and put them on the job. knowing that they have to work for you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to pay them that much. You just have to apply. Wow. So I don't want to keep going through this because this is some heavy stuff. But you could always come back and listen to the replay of this video, and you could understand why it's very important that this election is not just about who will be president, but it's for the soul of the country. Because if Trump wins, for generations to come, this country will be something else. I can guarantee you that he'll make himself a dictator and stay in office. He now has the power to do that. Please believe that he will. Please. Understand? My charger keeps falling out my phone. But anyway, that was an overview of Project 2025 and why you should. If you don't do anything, you should take the time to go Google it or watch a lot of these videos that are on there. Some of them are condensed into 8 minutes. Some are 10, 20 minutes. There's one that's about 3 hours. If you have that much time, then I would say go ahead and sit down and watch it. I did, and it's very informative. Uh, it's just, it's just we. I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. Never seen anything like this in my lifetime. So that's why I decided to do a live like this today, right? Because if you don't educate yourself about certain things, all right, Project 2025, then guess what? One, once it happens, then ignorance can't be your only reason why you say, "Well, I didn't know all this was going to happen." Yeah, you did because we live in an information age. You can find it anytime you want. Hmm. Wow. Ignorance doesn't excuse the fact that you had the opportunity to learn about something. It just means that you're ignorant. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm over here trying to say something, but I keep having these visions in my head. So I'm gonna stay on here for another 3 minutes. That'll be 40 minutes. Then I'm gonna jump off here and just rest my soul because I get real twisted up about these things, and leave it in God's hands, baby. Leave it in God's hands. He knows the right thing to do. The quote, mm, just gonna ban education in school and teach everybody what I want to teach them. And God forbid that your son or daughter is acting like an ass. Yeah, is acting like an ass in school. What are they gonna do to that child? What? Now, if you're a maggot child and you come in with a beer or alcohol in your hand, I'll give you a slap on the wrist because you agree with the devil. But look, it has been a blessed man. I hope this reaches a lot of people and they take the time to listen and then go look at a bigger version of what Project 25 is, right? Well, my good people, it's been another episode of the Troy Graham Experience. I was followed today by a time traveler. I was just thinking about this. I'm sorry I mentioned time traveling, but I was just thinking about this. That if he comes into this, if Trump wins, he washes away what this country was built on. The reason why we have these laws in place is because England was a dictator, and everything that's in Project 25, they wanted to come put into law and do to the colonists because they called them colonists back then, but in all reality they were terrorists, right? Those are the grandfather. That was the great grandfather of terrorism, right there. What do you think the Boston Tea Party is? It's terrorism. Uh-huh. So there it is, you know. Go read, go educate yourself about Project 2025. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. Go educate yourself about Project. It's called Project 2025. Don't wait till the last minute and say, "Well, I didn't know about it." Yeah, well, your ignorance will not help you when you all the information is out there already. I actually stumbled upon it. I can't say I stumbled upon it because I watch a lot of political shows. But please, Jordan, and all right, y'all, bless up one and all. I don't even have any music for y'all because it's taking so much out of me that it's drained my soul. So I keep dozing off, and I don't want to continue like that. Which is why I say I don't like coming on here when I'm not at full strength. That's why I'm not even on camera. But look, bless up one and all. Thank you for giving me the most precious thing you could give a man, which is his time, right? And I know the good Lord will make sure that this live of mine goes out to a lot of you so you can see it and hear it and understand the reason why I'm so passionate about it. Bless up one and all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.